Na 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 na, getting gizzy with it. Na 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 na, getting gizzy with it. Guess what, guys? I'm gonna review Field of Vision 2. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna do what I do and review it. You know, screw it. Maybe it's been a year since the last review, but if you ask the question, but did this guy with the dino on his head get jaded in that time? Or did he just not feel like doing any live reviews for a year? Or maybe it's because Field of Vision is so fucking sick that I was like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't want to. But you know what? After this past weekend, I gotta say about it. I gotta say things about it. This altered beast has got things to say about it. You know what I mean? So here we go. Hope you're not jaded yet. It's no fun. Let's get into the nitty gritty of it. I mean, we're going to start out with day 0. Thursday. Everyone's getting there early. Everyone gets there a day early because guess what? It's a beautiful place to be. And guess what? Surprise! They're going to release the whole new album, Alien Metal, on Thursday night at the Crumbling Castle stage, formerly known as the Land Before Timeland stage. Loud and with a big crowd. And I'll say this about the new album. When they released Level 5, I was like, cool. Video's cool. Alien Metal, alright. Kill for the Steel a couple days before the fest. Nothing really was like meshing or gelling or hitting me right. When they played it all in order, 40 minutes of Alien Metal, hoo-ah dog, whoa, yowza, yeah. That shit flows because that was intentional, because it's recorded as one DJ set, as if they were playing it live for 40 minutes. So that was sick. It was pretty fucking sick. That was a surprise. But there's some dudes at the meetup on Thursday, the Weirdo Swarm meetup on Wednesday, rather, at that brewery back in Denver, and that was like a rumor. It was like they're gonna put out the new album. They've already put out 3 songs. In my head, I'm like, that's almost 50% of the album. That's 3 out of 8. So why not do it? And then they were like, we're gonna do it. And then they did it, and then they did it, and it was great. That shit live, loud and in order, and that shit live by the band, extended and jammed and mixed and live on the Nate Dogg and Nathan. Yeah, Alien Metal's fucking sick. These guys don't miss, do they? They don't miss. They don't miss much. I mean, I mean, these were my 6th, 7th, and 8th Giz shows. I feel so fucking lucky that every single one of the times I've seen them, it's been A+, and it just keeps getting better. And Friday, we'll get there, but we're gonna go in order a little bit chronologically. I looked at my review last year. It ran about 55, 60 minutes, about an hour of Giz review. But when you break it down, we got Thursday night 0, we got Friday all day, we got Saturday all day, Sunday, drag day. It's a lot to cover here, folks, so we're gonna get right down to it. First, we're gonna go into my nerdness, stats, seen 8 shows, seen 172 songs, 136 of them unique. It's a lot of different songs. Only one cover in that whole thing, and that was the one with Jello Biafra last year, Police Truck. Yeah, you know, all the shows I've seen have been in August since 24, and apparently I've seen 4 rivers. I think they may be counting 2 from this past weekend. Pretty sure that's the case. Gilgamesh 3 times, considering they debuted it at 24 when I saw them in Philly. You'll probably seen like 3 out of 5 or 6 Gilgameshes ever. The only metal one ever. Okay, my nerdiness done. We're gonna move on to the other bands that played on Friday and leading up to Giz. So let's get going into that. We got Acid Yoga with Ambi and his mom from 10 to 11 every morning. If you're feeling like getting stretched, if you're stressing, get stretching. You know, we got Highland Park Sleep Collective, which is like a EDM act. These are all the pond area. DJ Boogie Boudreaux, I believe, was there last year. She kills it. She killed it. This is a surprise, new addition. Stu McKenzie's solo act at the Castle Stage at 12:30 to 1:40. He got up there with his little, tabletop synth, and he did the beeps and the bops, and the boops and the doops. He did all that stuff, and like just like he did at that like train station, and with Joey in that vinyl shop, Renegade fucking Stu on the loose, beeping and bopping. It was fun. Good surprise. Then we had Shauna Cleveland at that stage. I believe I missed that show. I went back to the pond for a bit. And then Primitive Ring played at 3 o'clock at the Castle Stage. And this is when things started to sink in for me. Because like last year was so fucking epic and magical and adventurous and fearless and all that stuff. And I was like, I knew that, but like, my hype meter was like, is that going to happen again? Is that possible? And then Primitive Ring showed up and was like, yo, all these bands that I don't know about, they good. They real good. Primitive Ring. Good time. So I missed Lisa Belladonna on the main stage, but she was there every day this weekend, so I caught her like 2 more times. She was great. But the first thing I caught at the main stage on Friday was Upchuck. And this is a female-led punk band that fired up. Let's get going at the main stage. Upchuck coffin. Upchuck, 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 Upchuck coffin. Upchuck coffin. And then, 5:30 the main stage was supposed to be ADP, but D Spitz couldn't make it, and so Angine DePotrine got moved from 5:30 to 6, and they extended their set from what looks like it would have been just 40 minutes to about an hour. And the polka dot, paper mache, dick-nosed Quebecians from outer space, Con and Kleck. The hype meter was through the roof for this polka dot duo, and you know what? It lived up to it. It was so much fun. It's math rocky. It's groovy. It's microtonal. So that's why they're there. And guess what? Hype meter? Yeah. Sure. Higher than the hype meter. In my opinion, they lived up to it. Exceeded it. So they landed around 7, and now we got the boys. We got the boys up next. The KGLWers. The Lizard Men, the Wizard Men, the Gizzard Men, the kings of the lizard, gizzard things. And we got them coming up at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Sip of water. You should drink some water. This is really cool. You should drink water. It's really cool. Stay hydrated. All right, so let's get to that set list from night 1 of the Giz Boys. We're going to get into the set list. Leading up to the festival, I saw some rumors about no repeats this year. I saw that, and I was like, yeah, but there's so many great songs they played last year. How do they not play any of those? So, it just would be like, come on, these guys aren't Fish or anything. They're not trying to do like a Baker's Dozen or some shit, or like... Why? But then I remembered these guys got 27, now 28 albums. They got a Rolodex of options, and a lot of good ones, and rarities. And they got this ability, this thing where they can play a song last year or earlier in this weekend, and then either tease it or play it Nathan style or vice versa. It allows for a lot of freedom, and let's get into the fucking songs. So these guys open up with Self-Immolate. Heavy shit. Fired up. Ooh, right from the get-go. That goes in to Extinction. played a metal version for the first time. So we're getting heavy early. We're getting into it. This isn't the field of weakness. This is field of fuck yeah. Yeah. So we keep it going. And we got March for the Rich. Because I don't think that Mars should be for the rich, but like, so they say no Mars for the rich. I agree. No Mars for the rich. I'm just a poor boy. Come on. Let's go. We're going. Just when you think things are slowing down, they are like, how about Predator X? We're 4 songs in, folks. And I start to question things and I say, am I in heaven? And they play, am I in heaven? Am I? Am I still in heaven? Was this heaven? What's heaven? Am I in heaven? I don't know. I'm not stressing about it though, because the next song was stressing. So fun. They're so fun. Things aren't as heavy right here, but they don't really slow down. We go from Am I in Heaven? Beautiful. One of the songs that like a lot of people thought they wish they would play this weekend. They got to that one early. Open Water, which is like the brand of the water they sell in cans at their festival. So they played that. Ataraxia, so good, so fun. Honey, it tastes just like honey. Sleep Drifter, it's coming up next. By the way, this whole time, they ain't repeating songs, and they're jamming this shit out and blending shit and starting to tease some shit. And maybe I should get into the field of the nitty gritty deets here. Self-Immolate had a drum solo. Extinction contained a This Thing and Lay Risk tease. And they played Lay Risk last year, so they teased it there. Am I in Heaven contained teases of Land Before Timeland. Ooh, maybe they'll play it. There's a People Vultures Jam. Before Stressing, the band talked about the recording history, yada, yada, yada. Honey contains Sleep Drifter teases, Magma. Okay, so we're caught up on the set list here. Coming up next, they roll out Nathan. Let's get that table. Let's get that thing out there that these boys have focused on primarily for like a significant amount of time. I'd say right after the orchestra thing was all lined up, they were like, well, let's do a rave/orchestra tour in Europe. And then when we do a free show back in Melbourne in the fall, let's just make it a rave show. This is the rave era. This is the Nathan era. And what they've done to Nathan is they've said Pokemon version of Little Nate Dogg, flat table, now is an upright table a year later. And then this year it's like, they just reconfigured all the knobs and the whistles and the patch cables and the colors of them and their skills and abilities and their swag, and they're mixing, and fucking Nathan is leveling up to like Charizard now. You know what I mean? Whatever, you get it. Nathaniel. Nathan Nathaniel. Whoo! So we got Magma version of Nathan. That was a song that I thought they were gonna play, and they played at Forest Hills last year during the orchestra separate song, and it was so fun live. Holy shit. Nathan version didn't disappoint. Nathan then goes into Smoke and Mirrors. Whoa, that one's fun. Holy shit. This was not a magic trick, folks. This was real life. Smoke and Mirrors. Now we got that first new Alien Metal tune, level 5 on the tables. If it's 1s and 2s for a normal table, is Nathan like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s? I won't say that last part again. All right, moving on. We got level 5, Rapid Alpha Decay. These are both debuts, both off the new shit. And Alien Metal on a big stage, loud as fuck, being like freelance version of, man, it was some of the fucking coolest shit. all weekend. I kind of knew it would be that way, but like I said, I wasn't too hyped on it beforehand. So here we are. Rapid Alpha Decay, and then we got, then Nathan gets rolled off. And let me mend the past. Let me see behind the mask. Let me. I'm gonna get the lyrics memorized sometime soon. Wow, wow. And then we gotta bust out new shit. Land Before Timeland, something that people have been wanting for a long time. It was fucking awesome. And then we got Iron Lung. My opinion, my favorite Iron Lung ever. Iron Lung hit. It was fun. Alright. Then we got my favorite part of Friday night. Hey there, robot. Stop. Don't continue, robot. Robot stop. What are we doing with robot stop? Open up that Nanagon door, that infinity Nanagon. Nanagon infinity opens the door. Robot stop. But this was like different. This is like hit and it was robot stop, but they were teasing it earlier in the night, and it fucking came through, but then it didn't really stop. It just kind of jammed into Cutthroat Boogie, and back into robot stop, and then a Big Fig Wasp, and then like back into Nonagon, and then ended with the river, but the river didn't complete. And then now we're going to get into a few more of the deets of what I'm trying to explain based on the notes here. We got Robot Stop contained, This Thing, Hot Water, Am I in Heaven, Magma, Cutthroat Booty, East West, as well as Extinction teasers and quotes. There's a lot of things within the thing. And Magma teasers and Field of Vision and Big Fig Wasp quotes. The river contained Crumbling Castle teasers. It only consisted of the first two parts. At the end of the second part, Stu said they'd finish the song tomorrow. Perihelion, electronic arrangement, and Rats in the Sky were on the printed set list but not played. One of those happens. Alright. Friday night, and we had a few more things. What was the rest of the things on the schedule? Then at the other stage we have Angelica Garcia. Woo! That's what happens with Dino Hat. It gets a little bit hot. Angelica Garcia, I dug it. It was fun. Some of these artists I need to go back and like check out and get on playlists and whatnot. I opened the door. And then a big anticipated act this past weekend was Blood Incantation, local to the Colorado area. Sort of like some local metal legends that I saw a lot of buzz when they first got announced. They were doing what was called an otherworldly set, which was cool, but honestly, it was so fucking crowded that I couldn't really even get in there. And when I did get to a place where I could hear, it was so quiet. I was eating some fucking sun chips. It was so quiet that I was like, I was like, I can't be here in this crowd. I'm not even making too much noise with these crunches. But then I ate, my fill of sun chips, got some snack time in, sat out by the back and, chilled. And then by the time I found a homie and was in like a little spacious area, they picked things up. And when things got heavier for the last 15, 20 minutes of this otherworldly set, I was banging my dino noggin. It was sick. And it gave me a little taste of what was coming the next day. And then we had Nikki Nair closing things out with the DJ set from 1:30 to 3 a.m., spinning some songs. Friday, I don't play favorites too often, but maybe it was the 8 months of hype and not having played in that time and it being such a freaking sick festival last year and just the way they were jamming things and loose and playing so free and awesome. I think Friday was my favorite night this year. Saturday last year, Friday this year. Saturday energy is crazy. It's such a freaking wild night. Everybody's settled in. Drag Day is so fucking amazing. It's hard to be like, which flavor of ice cream is your favorite from this past weekend, but god damn it, Friday was fucking just epic. Give me some fishy, jammy, gizzy, whatever the fuck you want to call their version of jamming. Gizzard. Gizzy jams are fucking, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Let's take a little sip of water. I prefer the muddy water, but not when I'm drinking H2O. Okay then, let's continue. Saturday morning, acid yoga again. Highland Park again, DJ Berdur again. But at the castle, the first thing to check out was Cav's Gong Bath from 1 to 1:40, which was like the beginning of the theme on Saturday, which was like vibrational sound therapy or sound bath work, because there were multiple acts that just weren't loud and in your face, but were like cleansing me of vibrational dirt, and was like why they call it a sound bath. And Cavs on gongs for 40 minutes, like, who's not about that? It was great. I mean, it was low key, but that was the point. It was the first thing of the day, and at the end, you know, fans want an encore, so we start chanting, "One more gong, one more gong, one more gong." Kaz obliges, comes out, grabs a big mallet, looks at the big gong, puts the big mallet down, grabs the tiniest little utensil to tap on things, goes to the tiniest little cymbal gong thing and goes tink, and walks off the stage. Well done. Then we have at that same stage, the act that I missed the day before, Lisa Belladonna, Synth Queen. Goodness gracious. Yet another way to describe a vibrational sound therapy throughout the day. She was hitting me in the nooks and crannies with the sounds, making me feel good. It's really good, So she was great. Got to see her again the next day. I didn't catch Jonathan Tubin's Soul Clap and Dance Off. But I did get to, the next thing I caught was, at the main stage, was Folk Bitch Trio. They're good. A soothing trio of folk bitches from Melbourne, Australia. Gonna have to put them on some playlists. Then we have, after that, we got which stands for wait, it'll come to me. To cause havoc. We intend to cause havoc. But they caused a havoc of cool sounds, and I found out these guys have been around forever, and they're from, I don't remember where they're from, but they're from far away, so that's probably why I never heard of them. But some people were like hyped about it, knew them for a long time. It was really good. It reminded me kind of like a King Stingray vibe, where they just had an energy that's theirs from their local land, and they brought it here to Colorado, which was a great time. Then we got Blood Incantation. Where do I begin? All right. So a friend of mine said that Blood Incantation and Giz are his two favorite bands. You know who you are. And I was like, yo, dude, it's them. He's like, let's go. Next thing I know, it was freaking, not even a full hour. It was 45 minutes of an onslaught of sensory overload of how is that guy still drumming. It was intense. It was wild. The ground was shaking. It was fucking epic. It went from in your face to we're flying through space to in your face to we're flying through space. And they're like sci-fi metal wizards, and I don't know what to say other than I'd love to see them again someday. Blood Incantation. Some of these guys look like they should be bowling or playing cards and drinking beers. Then they're up there demolishing everyone's fucking faces and melting them and throwing them in the fucking field. We all left our faces there. It started to get to a point where all of us were so fucking insanely impressed, and as far as even like technical aspect that I don't pay attention to or know because I'm not a musician and know notes and shit, we're saying they didn't miss a note, and I'm like, That was a lot of notes to not miss. So Blood Incantation delivered. I might say it for a while. Maybe the best metal act I've ever seen in my life. Strictly metal. Blew my marbles. And the weekend is just... The hits keep coming. It does not slow down. Because from there, everyone was kind of saying, like, well, how is Giz going to follow that? Like, what? Like, how do you follow that act, my friend? And guess what? They do. They always do. They follow the acts and they live up to the hype. And the Giz are the fucking Giz because they're the Giz, and we all know this biz. It's the Giz biz. What are you in? The Giz biz, friend. How do you act? Gizzy all day, son. Yeah, so we got Gizzard, so let's get to that set list and shit. Yeah, let's talk about it. We got to get to the 15th set list. Here we go. We ended with the river on Friday. We continued with the river on Saturday. This river evolved to a Wawa River, a few white rapids on the river. Down, down, down. Wah, wah, wah. Down, down, down. Wah, 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 wah. Fired up early. I got into like a spiral dance circle. And right behind the soundboard, they had like an outer circle going this way and an inner circle going this way. And a little group in the middle kind of just creature moves. And like it would be like fucking maybe the most fun little circle of dance moves that I ever been a part of. It was so fun and I was so happy. It was like joyous and I can't wait to do that kind of shit again. Like tomorrow maybe, it would be cool. All right, then we got some rare shit. We got Black Tooth. I'll be honest. I've been into these guys for a while, but like hardcore paying attention for just like 2.5 years, and goddamn, I didn't know every song. It's impossible to know 27 albums worth of 28 albums worth of fucking songs. It's like, why do I even like worry about trying to? I don't, because Black Tooth was next, and it was great. It was an old tune. It kind of has this like surf psych rock vibe. It gives you an idea of why they have bands like La Luz and Babe Rainbow come to their fest, because they got roots in surf rock, psych rock, and this was fun. Then we had Dead Beat, another one in that same vein. We got Dirt. None of those three were things that I know well. But guess what's cool about this fest? I'm probably going to re-listen to the entire thing until I get tired of it, which might not ever happen anytime soon. Anyway, Dirt. Then we got Crumbling Castle. Yeah, Crumbling Castle. I don't want to be crumbling, crumbling, crumbling castle. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Now we got the fourth color. I'm not going to pretend I can elaborate on every one of these things. The energy was through the roof. Every song was recognizable at the time. I know a lot of them from hearing them, but I can't go too far on Fourth Color or Organ Farmer, because some of this shit is just like, you feel it and you move on and you're dancing and it all blended together and jammed. So it was like, why worry about trying to like be like, what was that energy of that song? Because the next thing was Road Train. Let's go. Road Train. First time on C sharp guitars. More technical jargon than I don't know about, but you know, there's a lot of new things happening. And then Jay Weinberg came out, formerly of Slipknot, and did Hell, while our buddy Mickey Cavs is on the front of the stage, headbanging the whole time. Meanwhile, a homie of mine apparently entered the gates of hell, was possessed by demons when he went up into the pit. This is a little sidebar. Maybe one of the funniest concert stories I've ever heard in my life. And there's no fucking way that I could retell it with any sort of the pizzazz and jazz and excitement. But things I learned. If you got NIMBYs in the way, sometimes you got to toss a NIMBY or two or plow a NIMBY or three. And if you got Karens in the pit, Karens have no place in the pit. Karens don't belong in the pit. Well, maybe you just keep walking. Somebody comes, some Karens today to my friend. You know, the whole pit thing is a wild scenario that maybe sometime I'll get up into, but like after 3 knee surgeries and shoulder surgery, my body says, no, dude, just keep going ham in the field where you got dancing space anyway, because if I was restricted in like this and it was hot and I felt like I was in the gates of hell and I was a part of like a giant energy combustion unit, I might get a little bit verklempt. I might start stressing. I might have a little bit of hypertension. Anyway, hell, Jay Weinberg, that dude fucking kills it. Then we got that thing that they do, Nate Diggity Dog. I think Saturday might be my favorite Nate set this past weekend. They were all really good. And whenever we played the alien metal stuff, it exceeded expectations as well. But Bitter Boogie on Nathan? Woohoo! Boy, that was fun. Right into Muddy Water. Muddy Water might have been one of my favorite Nathan things all weekend. It's hard to pick. There were a lot of good choices. But Muddy Water, whoo, man, I prefer it to the other water, figuratively speaking. I guess they're kind of saying, I prefer the pond to the creek. I prefer the pond to the creek. And then we got Perihelion. And here's a little example of how loose and free and silly and awesome and funny these guys are. This little, they were just like, turn around every now and then, I fucking fall apart. They were like, Perihelion on Nathan. Then they were like, and it was like, Para-fucking-helion. 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 Into alien metal. Into Kill for the Steel. Again, the 2 songs off Alien Metal on Saturday on Nathan. We're leveling up. How do we get from level 1 to level 5? You skip levels 2, 3, and 4, and you just go right to level 5. That's how. Kill for the Steel, I thought the aliens were after gold, but apparently steel is useful too. UFOs gotta hover with gold, right? Smoke and mirrors, though. Maybe I'm just seeing smoke and mirrors. Then we got the Altered Beast Suite, which was like, who's this guy up here? This looks like he should look like this. He's a little altered. He may have been a little altered, considering I wore this guy most of the weekend. He needs a little Febreze action. I mean, I could probably wash him. He's a little altered beast. Altered Beast starts with, Alter Me 1, Altered Beast 2, Alter Me 2, Altered Beast 4. Whole bunch of altering, a whole bunch of beasts. Heavy shit, fun shit. Opening the gates to things, we're in the gates of things, so we got beasts. We're in hell. We open the Nonagon Infinity, and Saturday, the castle crumbles, wah wah. Gates to hell are open, we're in hell. Alter Me. Sometimes, though, you play a new song, debut, Glees 710. And then you follow that with, if you get stuck in hell, maybe you just need to get out of there by finding a trapdoor, 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 trap. Stu is running around like a wild child, like a toddler on too much sugar, like kind of like I was. No, his childlike dancing and playfulness on stage, that shit's contagious. Makes you want to be silly too, but man, it seems like they're having some fucking fun up there, those guys. Trapdoor, followed up by Hypertension. Hypertension is probably a highlight of the night. One of the favorite parts for me. The whole thing as a whole, the River Wawa stands out. The Para-fucking-helion, the Muddy Water, the alien metal stuff. But Hypertension was pretty fucking special. It was like, some of these times when they play these songs towards the end of a set, I'm like, do I have calories left to burn? Do I, though? And then they're like, you do. Get ready. Because Hypertension's about to rip, son. And they did. And then, we went to that meetup on Wednesday, and one of the bands covered a couple good songs. They were The River, with a wah-wah in it. That just happened. And then Head On Pill. two of the songs that were like most obviously thought to happen this past weekend. But Head On Pill started out real slow and psychedelic and and it seemed like they were gonna jam it from J-Rad slow up to, you know, really pace it, and then somewhere around the slowness, Stu goes, all right, let's fucking get to it. And they fucking Head On. Excuse me while I put my head on. Then they stopped in the middle of the song and they said, we'll finish that shit tomorrow, and left us with our heads off. Saturday. Let's go. Late night action from there. Let's see. What else do we have? On Saturday, after that, we had Witch again. They were great again. 40-minute set from 11:30 to 12:10. And then this act La Luz was like Dude Rainbow. It was like chicks doing sick, chill surf rock in the middle of the night. What a little wind down, chill vibe, awesome show. I really loved La Luz. It was awesome. Then Dot Vril, a DJ set from 1:30 to 3 a.m. I think it was this night. No, I think it might have been the first night that a buddy of mine and I found a renegade little silent disco setup that was quite the little magical fairy tale surprise in the middle of the woods that we found. Just want to point that out. This dude mixing, playing, it was awesome. All right. So that's Saturday. That's just 2/3 of the weekend, or a little more, I guess, if you count Thursday. And we're at 37 minutes in the review. We're on pace to hit the same mark as last year. I only need 18 more minutes. And there's so much to say about Drag Day. I went thrifting, got me a dress. I was kind of stoked to wear it. But man, it was even more fun than I thought it would be. Getting pretty and, you know. Man, I feel like a woman. I don't want to get like demonetized and sing too much Shania, but the best thing about being a woman is your prerogative to have a little fun. Oh, oh, oh. It was so much fun though. I had a dress on, found some makeup and some fake earrings. Oh, oh, oh. Had to keep wearing the dino hat, but I gave him a little bit of pizzazz. Yeah, so I'm rocking the dino hat and a dress and feeling myself and making twirls and seeing dances, you know, learning how to curtsy, things like that. Drag Day. What a fucking blast. A lot of people showed up in drag. A lot of people dressed up. A lot of girls dressed up like Joey. I saw some dudes dressed up as Stu's outfit from last year's. Joey rocked the same shirt, similar outfit, but you know, he didn't have a big stash this year. And then Stu had like a custom Gizzard dress that had some, I think, rainbow. It was like black with some rainbow lizards on it, you know, gators. And you know, the boys, they get glammed. The Queen Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard showed up on Sunday. Let's get going from the beginning though. On Sunday, we got the first thing to check out on Sunday, and I feel like it's become a can't miss, is the Buena Vista High School Red Hots Jazz Band. Those high school jazz peoples, they fire things up. It's like, what cooler of an audience to play for? I mean, they really have a great time doing it. I love what they pick for songs, and they sound great to start the day. From there, we had Space Moth, which was, you know, based on the name of the group, you'd think would be like kind of heavy, but they were like really chill Sunday afternoon vibes. That was really cool. From there, went and checked out a solid hour of DJ Jello Biafra on the ones and twos, dropping Wesley Willis on your ass, bitch. Jello's great. His banter in between songs, super entertaining. You know, it's pretty wild that he DJs there. Then I missed Will Sprott. Maybe I caught the end of that over at the Castle Stage. But another can't miss thing on Sundays seems to be Jay Weinberg's drum clinic. You just show up and you hear him talk lovingly and explain how his daughter is at her first concert ever today, and the gong bath was the first thing ever, and that he's so grateful that he gets to do it. And he's not with Slipknot right now, so he's kind of like in an open creative path. And when he shows up there to do these drum clinics, which is really just him fucking demolishing on drums for like an hour, I just won't miss that. It went back and forth between super heartfelt, touching, like, oh, to and back and forth, and he can drum, that guy. He can slap them things. Pow! More like oh, it fires you up. He's so good. From there, it's time to hit the main stage for the last time. We got some late night stuff coming after this, but get there for Earth Tongue, really good. Batting average of this festival, every act is just like pretty fucking great. Everything's great. Next act on the main stage, Death Trends, punk band from Melbourne. These guys were great. No complaints. We got punk, we got heavy, we got rock, we got psych rock, we got EDM, we got synth. Quite the spectrum of sound at this fest. Quite the spectrum. And then because we got Drag Day, we have Drag Day. So we have Patagonia, a legitimate drag show with a lot of powerful messaging, a lot of cheering, a lot of twerking, twirling, working it, work. I love it. I don't care. I love it. That was fun. They finish their set. Then they came out again and they announced Queen Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard to close out the main stage on Sunday. They started at 7 today, or on Sunday. How hospitable of them to allow us a earlier start on Sunday, even though Joey still went till like 3 in the morning with Boulant. All right, let's see. Sunday's set list. I had thought that they did not continue Head on Pill, but they did. It just went from Pill into Dripping Tap teases for a while. A little bit of Dripping Tap. And then we have Sea of Trees next. We were in a Sea of Trees. Anoxia. Elaborating on every song is an impossible task. I mean, this Sunday had a vibe from the beginning, but things really fucking started firing during Doom City. Doom City. Minimum brain size. What's the minimum brain size? For some people, it ain't big enough. Minimum brain size, great. We got The Book. Some of these songs are bust outs. We got Nathan coming out kind of early on Sunday, starting with Slow Jam 1 on Nate Dogg. Great time. We're jamming slowly Sunday. Slow Jam seems to be a fucking great place for that. We got Ice 5 next on the Nathan table set. Slow Jam 1 again. And then, this is kind of a surprise, we had a Murder of the Universe on Nathan. Hun to me, do it to me. Sapience next, that was a debut. Super Heavy, Super Critical, also a debut. I think those are both off the new Alien Metal album. Sapience might not be. And then we got Hell's Itch. First time played on an electronic arrangement. Same thing with Slow Jam. Maybe Murder of the Universe first time. Let's stop it here. We're going to keep moving. Because then from Hell's Itch on Nathan, it goes into this thing. What a fun song. Now, pretty much all the songs that they had played, throughout the orchestra tour, and probably were just, tired of playing so many times that song. They didn't play any of them except for Aerodynamic off of Phantom Island, which I think is still the only song on Phantom Island that's been played at Feel the Vision. There's some good ones on there. Dead Stick, etc. So this thing, great. Then one of the highlights of Sunday, Gilgamesh fucking Mesh. Gilgamesh. Metal version. They're meddling with us by metalizing Gilgamesh. It was so sick. Heavy ass metal Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. Where do you go from there? Well, why not just do Dragon next? Which Stu said was a song about Cookie. I mean, they're so silly, those guys. And then we got, Dragon Ripped. Petro. Dragon. The visuals on Jason Galea's LL Cool Juice's screen for Dragon are some of the most fun skeletal dragon formation things going on that are really, really entertaining visually, along with the consistent heavy dragon. The Great Chain of Being next, which I guess was a surprise and a rarity and a thing that people didn't expect to happen. And when I listened through second time on YouTube recently, it was sick. And then we got some of my favorite parts of the whole weekend here. And this may not be the same for a lot of people, but the heavy stuff stands out. It has so much of freaking crazy, insane impact on your senses. That being said, when things kind of slowed down and jammed for these two songs coming up, Ambergris, and Work This Time, man, the jam Joey did on Work This Time. Wow. Oh, man, maybe it'll work this time, Things work. And then the thing that a lot of people thought wasn't going to happen all weekend, but I said, well, if it does happen this weekend, if they do end up not repeating songs, they maybe, they're going to probably have to do one, which is the title track to the festival, Feel the Vision. And they did. They closed the whole festival out with Feel the Vision. They did it again. No repeats. And if year 3, they continue that, I don't know, we might have to hit the reset button in year 3, or maybe just after day 1 have to start to repeat. I don't know. What do you do, boys? But then there's so many songs they didn't play, so many songs off so many albums that they didn't play. There'll be a new album or two between now and then, or 3 or 4. You never know. It could be that high of a number between now and then. And we have a lot of new material they want to play at the festival. It's just the start doing nerdy stat lists of what songs haven't they played yet and post them, so I don't have to do that, because I don't want to do that, but I'm kind of curious about that. Breathe with me. This kind of has some who are those guys? Breathe the Pressure. A little bit of their vibe from the 90s, right? I Am a Fire Starter. What am I blanking on? Prodigy. Yeah, some of their EDM really hits Prodigy type notes. All right, we've gone through all the set lists of the Giz Boys. We got a few things left, a couple of things left on Sunday. Lisa Belladonna on the Castle stage for 40 minutes, ambient, cool. It picks up towards the end, and then we got Joey from 11:30 to 2 a.m. 2.5 hours of Joey on the 1s and 2s, spinning beats, jams, firing things up. More calories left. Getting silly, getting wiggly, feeling funky, feeling fresh, making moves, feeling good. What happens at Boulant? You find all the calories that you have left, and you start burning. You start being happy about things. You start reflecting on the weekend while he's playing things like Celine Dion and What is Love? You find reasons to smile real big. You make new friends. Great new connections. Things happen all weekend long. It never ends. It just keeps happening, and it just... The afterglow is already glowing, even though it's not after yet. It's the pre-afterglow you glow. The glow, you know, you got a full fucking canister of sparkles in your jug to sprinkle upon those that were not in present at field of vision, so that they can catch a little bit of the wave of positive, forward thinking, open, accepting, beautiful, male, female, every energy that you can muster up to describe was on display all weekend. It was just like, I'm proud of everyone there. I'm proud of Giz. I'm proud of Colorado, Buena Vista, Meadow Creek for hosting. I'm proud of you for just watching this for 50 minutes. If you came this far, I know you ain't jaded. I ain't. You shouldn't be. It's no fun. Poo-poo is no good for you. No. No poo-poo. Woo-woo. When they say poo-poo, I say, do a stewie woo-woo-woo. Roll away the stew. Woo. I could go on and on. I'm just going to smile for a second. Thank you for being here on this this edition of Ain't Jaded Yet, Feel the Vision Part 2. Feel the Vision, the sequel. Feel the Vision, Electric Boogaloo. What do? You say, I ain't getting jaded, are you? What's fun in that? I don't know. Don't be blue. Say woo. Peace.